Happy Wine Wednesday, everyone. I know it's been a minute since you've seen my face in here, but I'm here today, right? That's what counts. Sophie's birthday's today, so she's not here, but she will undoubtedly be back next week. Ray and I were just talking before the episode started, and I did have some technical difficulties. Go figure. But bottom line is, with everybody's busy schedules, we may trying to fix my lighting here. Yeah, obviously I'm real prepared, right? But we may have to cut this back to like twice a month instead of every week. We don't want to, but it's just that I'm so busy. Sophie's so busy. We want to be here for the community, but trying to schedule guests and getting this thing going is just a big struggle. So that being said, if there's anybody out there that wants to help, you don't even have to be someone currently keeping seahorses or someone that, you could be a YouTuber like Zen calling out you. Anybody who would be willing to come in, help with starting it, running it maybe, and that kind of thing. Or if you're doing seahorses and you're interested in sharing what you're doing, get in touch with me because we need some help here. Obviously, this isn't a huge channel. We're very small, but we don't want to give it up because I think it's really important. And I know that when I first started with seahorses, I would have been lost without the people that helped me. People like Ray, people like Dan. And then Sophie started and she would have been lost with people like me. And so we need that community and connection to keep going. But like I'm pulling my hair out, which I cut off, y'all. I got the bob going now, by the way. Much easier to care for. But yeah, sorry, getting rambled. But point being is if you want to help and you want to keep the channel going, we need help. That's done. For tonight, happy birthday to Sophie. And thank you to Sophie for doing so many episodes when I couldn't be here because she's done an amazing job. So bravo to Sophie. And happy birthday. I have a couple of announcements, but it is going to be open chat because I don't have anything scheduled. We do have to make it kind of quick tonight. So if you have absolutely any questions about seahorses, saltwater, equipment, cycling, any of those questions, snails, macros, ask away because that's what we're here for, is to help you and be here for you and be a part of the community. So if you have any questions, ask them. We'll talk about that. Until then, we're gonna just chat, right? That's what we do. So, Ray, you were saying something about your dog. My big announcement has nothing to do with seahorses, but literally tomorrow, I'm so excited, and we can talk about how this will affect the seahorses. But I am getting a cat. I'm getting a fur baby for the first time in probably 15 years. I've only done seahorses. I haven't done any animals that are, out of a tank, right? And so, oh, you're having trouble hearing? Joining. Okay.
He had trouble last time too.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Do you have his sorry, don't share. Do you have his a way to send him a link? Hey, let me know how to send you a link. Maybe your link's expired or something. I'm not sure. But if you reach out to me to tell me how to send you a link, I absolutely can do that.
If he can contact me on Facebook, on Messenger, then I can respond then.
Yep. Either way, because we'd love to have you in. But anyway, so I'm getting my fur baby. It's this gorgeous, like I don't have time for a kitten, right? I barely have time for the seahorses. So I'm getting a cat that was actually abused in the past, way distant past. But at the home she's at, it's just not working out. And so I'm taking her in. She is snow white, completely white, no markings, just the most gorgeous cat I've ever seen. I'm so excited. So I've kind of gone like crazy buying all the stuff for her because you guys, if you know me personally, or if you've been on the channel for a long time and have heard me talk, I still have twin daughters but they moved out. They turned 18 and they moved out. And so I've got this room just sitting there. So I made it a cat room. I should have turned it into an aquarium, but I've got the aquariums all over the house already set up with their sumps and stuff. So it's a cat room. So totally unrelated to seahorses, but I'm really excited. And I will show you guys next week if everything works out. But wish me luck because I haven't had a fur baby in so long. I'm so excited. About the seahorses, on to seahorses, right? Seahorse channel. So I have consolidated tanks. So in my career as a seahorse keeper and breeder, or whatever you want to call it, my hobby, I've had up to 12 tanks running at the same time. But when I say that, I'm talking about some of them were, fry tanks, which were much smaller and, doing a specific duty. They later turned into macro tanks. But at certain times in my hobby, I've had a reef, different tanks going at different times. But at one point I had 12. And since I've downscaled because I'm so busy, I've got all this equipment just sitting around empty, stupid. So I'm starting to clean stuff up. If you guys are interested in any tanks or equipment and you're near me, you can't ship, but if you're in Anderson or Chesterfield or near, I've got tons of stuff that, I'm selling, but anybody in the community, will work it out. I want to get rid of it is the bottom line. And I have like the 90 SCA tank. Now, I'm not turning this into a sell my equipment show. I'm just telling you guys, I'm not doing the breeding right now. And if I ever do go back to it, which I still hope to, but I will probably start fresh, right? There's nothing wrong with my tanks and equipment. It's just that I would do things a little differently if I started over. And so I would just start fresh. So, like for instance, my 65 gallon I've sumped it. I've put a sump on it, but it uses a hang on the back. And what do you call those, Ray? The things that you can turn a tank without a sump into a sump. It's not hang on back. It's a overflow box. So it uses an overflow box to get the water down to a sump. And then I've got all the, fancy equipment. But if I ever did it again, I would definitely do a sump tank to begin with. And this tank, of course, could be used for freshwater and just, scrap the sump or any of that. But okay, I don't want to turn this into Kelly selling her stuff. I do have equipment available. If you're near me, reach out. The point that I was trying to make is that I've consolidated. So my 65 no longer has the seahorses. I had seahorses in the 65 in the all-in-one and in the 90. And so I've now consolidated, put them, because my seahorses are getting older. And, I've not lost any recently. They're doing great, but I've only got 5 now, 5 seahorses. So I'm not sure the last time I talked to you guys what was going on, but I've got 5 seahorses. I've got them all in the same tank. And so all this extra equipment sitting around. And now I'm doing fur babies. And again, that doesn't mean I'm leaving the community. I don't think I could stand my life if I didn't do seahorses. So when my seahorses do decide to go to seahorse heaven, I will absolutely get another pair. And if they start breeding, I'm going to start, breeding, right? But if not, I'll always have seahorses. I can't imagine not. And I did want to talk about, Ray, what is your advice for me since I'm getting a fur baby? And these aren't fish, but they're fish.
You don't want to ask me a question like that.
What's that?
Well, one of our cats lived to be 21. The other one lived to be 22 or 23. And I can't stand cats.
Oh, well. Hi, Tom. I see you. Variety of horses. Right now, I just have Erectus. In my past, I've kept Cuda, Barbori, Reed-eye, and then versions of Erectus. So like Piebalds and Northern Erectus. And what other Erectus are there, Ray?
Northern.
Yeah, I said that one.
Well, as
But
far
I
as
feel like
like
there's another
when you
one.
could say piebald, you can get piebald in other
Right,
things too. So it's not
right.
a version of an erectus. An erectus is an erectus. You got
Sure,
northern, you got southern, or you have hybrids, like a hybrid with a reed eyes, that kind of
yep.
thing. But it's still, they're all erectus.
No, you're absolutely right. Thank you for correcting me. So I won't mention piebald. What I'll say is I've had northern erectus, regular erectus. I've had the hybrids. I've had the reed eye, the cuda, the barbori. There are different versions of cuda too, right? So I had, and I can't name off the professional names. What were you going to say, Ray?
CUDA, um,
It's a complex situation. I know.
it was a complex. It started many decades ago when people were importing seahorses from overseas, various places. But it became very easy for a transshipper to just put CUDA as a
Yeah,
designation,
yeah.
irregardless of what actual species it was.
Sure,
So people were getting these things thinking they had CUDAs when it could have been a whole range of different ones depending on where this transshipper was and what access they had to seahorses. So
sure,
that's what started it all off. And it was easier to get it through customs because if
sure.
you put CUDA there, okay, they knew CUDA. If you
Right.
put some other name down there, um, uh, uh, I can't get my head going there, and some of the names.
Hippocampus, anything else? Go ahead.
But anyway, that's how it all started off.
Right,
And
but
then,
I was actually referring to the CUDA complex, and that's a serious thing. Like if you're into seahorses in the wild or all of that, is that even the ichthyologists and people that are describing seahorses have had trouble with CUDA. And that's because they seem to have traveled further, I guess. And so you'll find CUDA in another place and they look completely different. So is it a new species or is it not? It's a very complex conversation that many people argue over. We ain't gonna argue. But I'm just saying I've had the very dark black cuda that are gorgeous. I've had the very bright yellow and orange spotted cuda. I've had the just bright yellow cuda. So that being said, are they different species? I don't know, but I've had kudas in the plural. The one. Let's talk about the seahorses I haven't kept. I have never kept dwarves, even though I do fry. I've never kept dwarves. I felt like they were a lot of work for not enough time. But if you were trying to like breed and make money, I mean, you don't make money off a lot of money off of dwarfs, but it's a quicker process, right? They is their gestation period a lot shorter, Ray, for dwarfs?
sorry,
Are dwarf seahorses gestation period a lot shorter? So like
gestation period. I'm trying to
so an
think
erectus
now.
is pregnant for let's say 28 days. How long are dwarves pregnant?
Huh, I can't even remember. Actually, I don't know that I ever really knew because, like, I had so many, I never really knew when somebody was going to produce or not produce. So I had no way to know how long any of mine actually were producing, and especially when
That,
I got up into the 50 range.
so they just were so many. Yeah, I got it. And I do see you, Joey. Hello. Good to see you here. I like sourdough breads too much, a little bit too much on the belly, but I love them. So cook that, bake that up. But yeah, so the dwarf seahorses are something I never kept. I think it would be great for people who want to see that breeding process because they like, I don't know anybody who's had dwarfs that don't breed. They just are breeding little rabbits, and they're very tiny, and they've taken a much bigger, more massive amount of care. I compare them to keeping fry, right? Which I have done, but I just never did the dwarfs because when I was doing the fry, I knew they would grow up and live for, 7 years or whatever, whereas the dwarfs only live for 1 or 2, right?
Yeah.
So I just never did dwarfs. Nothing wrong with doing them, but that's just something I never did. What else? I've never kept the whitey eye, which I'm so jealous when I hear about people getting the whitey eye. That was just something that was never available in my area. More in Australia, and people that can buy from Australia. I've never done any of the exotics like the zebras or anything like that. What are more common species though, Ray? Because I feel like I've done all the available species.
Oh,
I mean, you
well,
got reed eye,
there's one I can't get my head out
Augustus,
around right now.
Augustus,
It starts with A, and
Augustus,
I imported them from Australia, and
the hippocampus Augustus,
and got
Augustus.
and got
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. And those are the pot bellies, right?
No,
No.
Angustus is a basic looking
You're right.
one.
You're right.
Uh,
The pot bellies are abdominalis, right? Okay.
right.
So the A's get me confused. So I never got to get an Augustus either. Another one that were only available to people that could ship them in. And we just didn't have the breeders available to ship them in, and I couldn't do it myself. So never got an Augustus. What are the really big ones? Huge. That they get like really
Bigger
huge.
than the apps, the Brazilian. Yeah, you got me right now.
Now I'm
Uh,
gonna Google it because it's gonna drive me nuts. Biggest
I'm pretty
seahorse.
sure they're out of Brazil.
The nope, not that.
They have a couple
Oh,
thousand
it's
babies
gonna
at a
drive me
time.
nuts. It's saying abdominalis, but no, it's not. It's all right. Well, I'll try to find the
Dan,
name later, guys. But
Dan's still listening. If you can put a message down there and how I can contact you, so I can give you that link.
yeah,
Uh, I don't know
absolutely.
what else. Like I put your name in under Messenger, but there's so many with that name, and I have no idea which one's yours.
Great. Work with Ray on that on the side. Tom, you just got 4 CUDA. That is awesome. Like I didn't even know they were available. Are you? I mean, I know you. So you're in the U.S. and you got CUDA. I want to know everything. Where'd you get them? How are they doing? How do they look? If you want to share your Facebook page or profile, so that people can go see them, absolutely. Or if you want to jump in, feel free, because that's awesome. CUDA were one of my favorites. Depending on where I got them, and I had some that were very standoffish and picky, and I had some that were like the erectus, that just were up at the glass greeting you and just crazy, beautiful. And CUDA's one of the ones I really like. So love it that you got them. Please share your source, because I've kind of been out of the game a little bit, but when I do jump back in, I definitely want to keep other species. So let me know where you got them and all that good stuff. You said Quality Marine, awesome. Okay, good to know that they are coming back into the scene and becoming a breeder. That's amazing. So good to know, because Quality Marine, yeah, good deal. And I'm thinking of the other one. Who's the other one that's doing seahorses now? Where Felicia works. It's bio something. Bio. Yeah, I should have my notes ready before we go live, right? If you can't find seahorses, reach out to me. I'll get the name. But I can't remember now. I met them at Magnum multiple times. Felicia works there. Bio something. But now we know that Quality Marine's doing them too. That's awesome to know. And Joey asked, have either of you ever worked with sea dragons or spoken to anyone successfully? Ray, I'll let you go first because I haven't answered.
Well, I personally don't know anyone that has had them, mainly because the only ones that have kept them successful are the big aquariums. I don't know any private person that has been successful with them, but um, there's a couple that have done it, but I have no knowledge of them personally, just from what I've heard, I guess from you, Kelly, and um, I think I saw, um, I think Chris referred us to somebody at one time too.
So my answer would be, go ahead. Were you finished? Sorry. Were you finished, Ray? Yeah,
I'm
okay.
through.
So I would say the most difficult species that I've ever tried to keep were the ghost pipefish. Don't know the specific name. I'm really slacking tonight, guys. I'm so sorry. But I want to make sure I'm saying the right thing here. Ghost pipefish. Yes. Let me try to find a picture here to show you guys in case you've never seen them. They're freaking amazing. I was a failure, by the way, but I really tried. And the only reason I did try, by the way, before you guys see this, is because only reason I tried, ooh, this light. All right, so let me see if I can share this with you guys real quick. And I will get back to sea dragons, but hang on. All right, can you guys see what I'm looking at? Can you see it, Ray?
Yep.
Yeah. So I tried to keep these. The only reason I even tried is because a breeder contacted me. Well, it wasn't even a breeder, it was a store contacted me and said, we got 2 of these in. They weren't supposed to come in, but they did. We don't know how to take care of them. Will you try? And so I did. And frankly, I failed. I had them going for about a month and then no. And it's because you shouldn't keep these. Just for the record, you guys, you should not. They're gorgeous. They're really amazing. They belong in the ocean. At least until some qualified breeders, and I am not, I admit that, work with them to provide captive bred. Because when you get creatures like this from the ocean, they're so delicate. If they're like these guys, one of the things I learned as I tried to care for them is that they're like more deeper water, and when they're brought up, if they're collected in the wrong way, then they, just like a diver, when it comes up too quick, something about their air messes up. I'm not giving a very good description. I'm sorry. I'm not scientific, but like if they're, if they start swimming on the side, that's because they were collected incorrectly, and they just, in my opinion, at this point, they should not be collected. So again, only reason I even tried is because the store reached out and was like, we don't know what to do. We don't want them to go to somebody who doesn't have a single clue, so will you try? Because they're already here, right? You can't put them back in the ocean. So I did try, failed miserably. So that being said, though, a lot of work has been done with sea dragons. If you look on my YouTube channel, on Seahorse Whisperer channel, you will find a video and an interview with a woman named Deborah who kept them. When I spoke to her, she'd already had them 4 years. Sea dragons in a home. However, just to give you an overview, it was a 10,000 gallon tank, I believe. Reference the video. I'll try to post a link in the description when I'm done. But she had a 10,000 gallon tank for only 4 sea dragons. The sump was in another room. It was so ridiculous. Like God knows how much she spent on setting up this system. So these type of animals are not ones you can keep easily. And she did her research and she worked with breeders and she got them and she was successful, but she took the time, research, energy, and money to set up this ridiculously large tank, which is gorgeous in a room. You got to go watch the video to really see it. But like they again will only eat live foods. No one's gotten them to eat frozen. Actually, I think she did get them to eat frozen. Come to think of it, now that I'm saying that, you got to go watch the video. It's been a few years, and I need to touch base with her and see if she still has them and how they're doing, because I haven't. I'm slacking and working all the time, but she did an amazing job, and I will post the links. I will make sure, because yeah, I'm going to try to look it up. Actually, if I can get Ray talking about something, I could look it up and then share it with you guys. But let's see what other questions we have. I'm going to come back to the sea dragons when I can pull it up. What's the name of the video? All right, let me go look. Hang on, you guys. Ray, tell me what's going on with you while I look this up. Can you do that? You got to talk while I'm searching.
I have nothing going on with me. What the hell can I be doing at my age?
Right. Okay. Well, let's give Ray something to talk about while I look this up. What can he
Well, I
talk
picked
about?
a bunch of tomatoes today.
Well, that's really cool, but I think we want to talk seahorses. Why don't you tell me about how many species you've kept? How many species of seahorses have you kept? What were they, and what was your favorite?
Yeah, seahorses are my favorite.
There you go. Which ones?
Maybe reed-eyed, because that was my first. And abdominalis, because of they're so easy to look after.
They're very easy as long as you
As long as you keep them
temperature
under 68 degrees.
right.
Um,
I never did them because I wasn't in a situation where I could keep the water cool enough, and I was too cheap to buy chillers. So,
and I like the Angustus. I like the Barbary. Like I say, the reed-eye, the Erectus. Okay, Dan, can you tell me how to contact you to give you the link?
so why do you keep saying that? I'm not seeing him comment.
It says Seeker of Truth here. Please send me a link if possible to join.
Oh, to join. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, reach out to either Ray or I, because we don't know how to send you a link. We can't put it in the chat. We get too many spammers. But if you reach out to us, we'll give you a link for sure. And as far as the video, I found one of them. Here we go. So it was called, whoops, sorry guys. It was called Deborah the Sea Dragon Tamer. And it was, that's right, I'm sorry. I did it for women in reefing, but I'm not going to share the whole thing. I don't think you guys can hear the audio, can you? But if you go into it, this is Deborah. Deborah Corker, yes.
Can I interrupt you for a sec?
What?
Dan, I'm on Messenger as Ray Ford. So if you type in my name, Ray Ford, and if any other ones come up, you'll see my picture on the one that you need to contact. So you can send me a message, and I'll reply with the link. Okay, go ahead.
You're good. I'm just showing her sea dragons. And these are in a home tank. Isn't that amazing? Just freaking unreal. And you can't hear what we're saying because the audio doesn't come through on sharing, I don't think. But, I mean, she's telling us throughout this whole video how she cares for him, what she did to care for him, how she made it work, what equipment she got. I hope you guys can see my scrolling. But yeah, I mean, she talks about all of it, what she has, and I mean, they're just gorgeous. I'm going to play it for just a few more minutes because they're just amazing. She talks about the names of her sea dragons. You guys got to check out the whole video, but I wanted to show a little bit. But look at her. Look at, this is her equipment. Just so you understand, it's not something you can just go get some sea dragons. So, talks about everything she uses. I mean, she sets it up for you guys. And then I just hope to show you a little bit. Shows about the live foods she has to deal with. Right, past it. Talks about the feeding. So it's a really good video. Really good interview. And then I was trying to see if there, but she covers every question. So gorgeous, though. Amazing. But look at the tank size compared to the sea dragon. I mean, it's a huge tank. I wish you guys could hear the audio, but talks about spotting and amazing creatures. But I ask her all the questions. Amazing. But anyways, you guys got to go watch the video. But she tells you everything. What cleanup crew. Top 3 tips. Awesome. Sorry, you guys can't hear the audio. It makes sense once you watch it. The cat, it'll make sense once you watch it. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing now. Go watch the video. I will post a link, but it's a great video. I think I did 2 let me stop here. I did 2 or 3 videos with her. So that's just one of them, but I think that's the best one because we did it for the Women in Reefing event and for that society, and trying to connect the two with the signathids and the Women in Reefing. And she just did a phenomenal job of answering all my questions. Hopefully I did a good job putting together the video. It's a little long, but I mean, it's so much information. Again, I wouldn't advise the average person to go out and do it. Here's the thing. I think you should keep other seahorses first. And Deborah talks about that. She kept seahorses first, so she understood, and she kept abdominalis. So like Ray was saying, they need a cooler temperature. So she was already aware of understanding that signathids they have specific needs that aren't like a usual aquarium. And so if you keep seahorses first, then if you ever have the funds and the time and the commitment to do something like sea dragons, you can work with an actual aquarium or someone like Chris or Seahorse World or something like that to get. I know that Steve McLeod was captive breeding them, to be honest. I don't know where that's at now. It's been a minute since I talked to him. Well, I'll reach out to him. But again, you got to set up for these guys seriously. It's a serious thing. And Seeker of Truth, why don't you just try me? That would probably be easier. Much easier. It's my name's Kelly and my last name's DeLaverne. DeLavergne. Look me up, message me, I'll get it right away. And I would say hurry because I can't keep this going very long tonight. We usually go till like 10. I can't do that tonight. I have to be at work at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I got to cut it short, like within the next 15, 20 minutes. So jump in if you message me and I'll get you a link. Otherwise, we'll make sure you have a link for next week. Just message me and we'll make sure you get one.
I just remembered, Holly put a link on the Wine Wednesday Messenger.
Oh,
If you if you type in Wine Wednesday on the Messenger, at the top of it, it should say Wine Wednesday active now, and then it'll say Holly Milner, and then give a link there.
there you go. Good for Holly. Good deal. So yeah, Secret or Dan, reach out to one of us, because obviously you want to jump in and share, and I love that, and I want you to. But again, tonight I can't go very long, but we'll get you a link the link should work every week. It doesn't change unless we get a bunch of spammers, and then I have to change it. So it should be the same one you've always had, but yeah. I'll just put my name in the chat real quick, because I'll just deny you if you're not Dan, but this is my name, and if you reach out to me, we'll get you in here. All right, so back to the original point that I got started talking about, is that I consolidated all my seahorses down into one tank, and that was really scary for me. And the reason is I'm all about cross-contamination. So like each of my tanks, especially when I had multiple, but even now, so when I had multiple, I had different species, and then there was no cross-contamination, right? Like every tank had its own net, had its own everything. Nothing ever transferred from one to another, because I knew how much that could affect the tank. Seahorses, even captive bred seahorses, will have immunity to certain pathogens, and then a different species will have certain pathogens that they're immune to, and you mix them, and if it's different pathogens, you're in trouble. That's why I never put fish in my seahorse tanks, because again, what the seahorse might be able to withstand might be something that the fish can, no, sorry, I said that backwards. What the fish can withstand might be something that the seahorse can't withstand. And if you are like, what is she talking about? So every fish has things. I don't want to say like, how would you say it, Ray? It's not. Every fish has built up an immunity to deal with the pathogens in their area, meaning bacterial, meaning whatever, ciliates.
They when they're growing up, they just their bodies get used to the pathogens that are there, unless it becomes excessive for some time or stress gets in there. And that's true of most. But the problem is with seahorses that their immune capability to begin with isn't at a level that normal fish have.
Sure.
Which makes them more susceptible than any other fish pretty well. There's probably others that are that susceptible as well, but not in my experience. And
sure.
So because of that, when you take them, when you get some seahorses and you put them in a system that may have some other pathogens in there they haven't grown up with, then it doesn't take too much. It's not always going to hit right off the bat. But if that seahorse gets stressed, once they're stressed, the immune capability drops, and then these pathogens take over.
So perfect example. My children are not prissy, wissy, wonderful children. My adult son, ate worms and, played in dirt and had all the illnesses growing up, that he could have. My girls too. When I took them to Italy, they had some built up immune systems, right? Because they don't usually get sick. Nothing like that happens. We went to Italy, and all of a sudden, all three of them come down with this sickness. And I'm like, what's wrong with you guys? And it was just because we're in a different area. Who knows what it was? It could have been food. It could have been, somebody coughs in the United States. Is that cough, does it have the same stuff that's over in, Italy or wherever, right? It's just different things around the world or ocean or tanks that you can withstand in your current environment because you've built up a resistance. You go somewhere else and there's different ones, and all of a sudden, heck, let's go back to the Indians and Columbus, right? Not Columbus and Indians. Who was? You guys get my point. My point is that's it for seahorses. And like Ray said, cygnathids just don't have the immune system of other fish, period. So it's more of a risk. So back to the point, when I combined my seahorses, even though they were all erectus, they were from different places. So I have a seahorse from Holly. I had a seahorse from Vincent. I had 2 seahorses from Ocean Rider. And then, is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. Anyways, so they're from different places. And even though they're all captive bred, they were raised in different conditions and used to different things. And then even in my tanks, they're used to the conditions of their tanks. And so it was very scary to me to combine them. It's been good so far. Everybody wish me luck. I'm watching very carefully because I don't like doing that. Like, I'm not one that'll just, oh, okay, let's condense and throw them all together because of these things we're talking about. But it was necessary in my circumstance, and it is making, caring for them a lot easier. I know they're not going to breed for me, right? They're too old, in my opinion. So that's where we're at with that. Let me look at Messenger real quick. So what's your name on Messenger? Seeker of Truth? Because I got nothing.
Yeah, he sent a couple to me, and I have nothing on my messenger from him.
Yeah, that's really weird. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I really do apologize.
Dan, did you type in Wine Wednesday on Messenger and see the page?
So to be honest, he'd be better off just messaging me. That'd be a lot easier because I think with Wine Wednesday you have to be approved, right? I mean, if he already is, that's fine. But if he's not a part of the group or not part of the chat, we anybody that tries to get in, they have to be approved. So, but I see nothing. I'm so sorry. Texas, Maryland. I don't know what that means. No, what I was asking is what your name is on Facebook. So if I'm looking for a message from you, what would I see? It's from this person. But I'm just telling you, I don't see anything, period. I haven't gotten anything from anybody. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. What I will say, oh my gosh, my niece. See, I never get on Facebook. Now I'm like, oh my God, my family. Sorry, guys. But yeah, just keep trying to reach out to me. And if you put up a name, I'll reach out to you. And then, maybe not tonight, but next week we can make sure you can get in because that's crazy. I don't want anybody to not be able to get in that wants to share. And, we love that. That's what we want. But I don't know why that's still showing. 5 messages. Okay. Yeah. So try reaching out to us again. I mean, Ray's not wrong. Look for, I think it's called Seahorse Whisperer Group on Messenger or on Facebook.
It just says Wine Wednesday.
Wine Wednesday.
Yeah, type in Wine Wednesday.
So no, Ray. So that's within the Seahorse Whisperer group. If you're not a member, you won't be able to find it. So go to Facebook, go to Seahorse Whisperer group.
No, you can type in Wine Wednesday and it'll come up.
Okay.
Anybody can do that.
Do you mean on Messenger strictly?
Right.
Okay.
You can do Messenger and type in that Wine Wednesday. Anybody can do it. You don't have to be a member.
Okay.
Now, you won't. You don't necessarily get a response unless the person is willing to respond.
Gotcha.
But you won't have to put in any query or anything because it's sitting right at the top of the page.
I got you. Okay. We'll try what he's saying. And if that doesn't work, keep trying to message me because, I mean, unfortunately, it seems like at this point it's got to be on your end. Could it be that you're in an area where the Wi-Fi is not going through? Like, for instance, if I'm at work in my store, my Wi-Fi at my store sucks, right? So I'll send somebody a picture just in text, and all of a sudden, yeah, that's not you either. And then all of a sudden, they don't get it, like for 10 minutes because my Wi-Fi sucks. I don't know. But we're not ignoring you on purpose. We're trying to get you in for sure. And we'll make
It's kind
sure
of
you.
weird that he can't use the link that he has.
Right.
Plus, the messenger isn't coming through twice to me and once to you.
That's why I'm thinking it's something on his end, either his phone or computer or Wi-Fi. Check your Wi-Fi. But I mean, he's watching, so his Wi-Fi is working. I don't know. I'm so sorry though, because we'd love to have you in. But that being said, I am gonna have to end it for tonight. Look, I know you guys. I finally get here and we start talking about fun stuff, and I'm like so excited. And then I gotta say, oh, I gotta cut it. But and you're seriously considering setting up a new tank for your 1 to 2 pairs. Nice. I want to know why you want to set up a new tank though. You've sent your email address twice where? What's an alarm? Nothing. Yeah, I don't have your email. You know what? I don't care who has my email. So email me. How's that? Here you go. Because if you email me and I don't know you, I'm just going to spam you. But if you email me and you tell me that you're you, then I will talk to you and we'll figure this out. Because we'll figure it out and I want you to come in. And especially if you're looking to set it up. If you're looking to set up a Seahorse tank, that's what I've always wanted to do on this channel, is have people come in and say, I want to set this up. What about this? What about that? So that we can answer all the questions that a new keeper has that would help somebody else that watches it later. Because incredibly enough, guys, I know sometimes we just sit here and ramble, but you wouldn't believe how many people watch it later. And I love all of
Actually,
you.
he's not a new keeper. He kept a lot of seahorses in a small tank.
No, I get that. But what I'm saying is, if he's coming in and saying, I want to do things differently, I want to do things this way, what do you think about this? What about that? It's going to help a new keeper, period. Like just set up, period, is going to help. And so I would love to have you come in and do that so we can do that. And I know you've done it with Sophie and them, but now I'm here. So would love to have that happen. Let's just figure it out and get it done. Because again, you would be amazed how many people watch these live streams later. Like, I can't imagine because I ramble so much, but I love all of you that watch it later. Mwah! For real. That's so awesome. Thank you. But for tonight, all right, I'm going to check my email. I'm going to try to figure you out, Seeker of Truth, and I can talk to you on the side. But then I definitely want you to come next week so that we can really dive into what you're wanting to do and set up. So, but for tonight, Ray, do you have anything else? Oh, there's Chris Clark. Holy shit. Why do you guys come when I'm trying to end it? Oh, wrong Chris. Oh my God. Sorry. Never mind. I'm just not going to say anything else. I thought that was Chris Carey, who was an amazing breeder and worked at Seahorse World. That was a different Chris that's teasing me. So we'll leave it there. But for tonight, guys, I am going to end it. Ray, did you have anything else?
Nope, nothing.
All right. Thank you so much to everybody who came. Thank you to everybody who comes later and watches. If you have questions later, you can always ask in the comment section. I always read the comments. I will come back and ask them. And Chris Clark needs to be banned from the channel, just saying. But for the meantime, guys, thank you guys for coming. Seeker of Truth, reach out to me. I'm going to check my email as soon as I get off here, and we'll get you set up for next week, okay? And I'm sure Sophie will be back next week too, so it'll be more exciting without just me and Ray. But for tonight, Ray, I know you ain't gonna cheers with me, so everybody else cheers with me. Oh, good. Ray's gonna cheers with me. All right. Happy Wine Wednesday, everybody. Don't take a drink. Cheers. You gotta cheers, Ray.
Cheers.
Cheers. See you guys.